Assalamu alaikum and welcome to this part number 4 where we are going to discuss a very important pattern, which is actually the butterfly pattern. And it's a little difficult because again uh, it's going to be made up of the nested for loops over there, but it has actually more than like one or two, in fact three if else statements over there, the main three if else statements over there. So it's actually like three different parts. So the whole pattern is actually divided into three different parts. Now, just for you people, I have actually made this whole thing into three parts over there, and you can see this pattern is having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 over there, and in 7 it was a little difficult, so I have actually made pattern in front of you which has like 9 rows over there. Again, the condition is this, that the number of rows for this one has to be an odd number, and here you can see over there that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Now why this is equal to 9 or it's actually an odd number, because the central one over here is actually a line having all the italics printed and no space printed over there. So without delay further, let's go and see how this is going to be done. And just to remind you, in previous one we had made this X pattern, and this X pattern we made this I, that was actually variable, that was the outer for loop, J, that was the inner ring, that was actually going to print in one row, all whatever it was actually a space over there or either an static over there, and we made the conditions over there. And just to give you an idea, we made these conditions, condition number 1, condition number 2. Here we are going to do the exactly the very same but in a total different way. So just for that purpose, let me just erase this off. In fact, let me just make this clear page, and now we can add our main picture, which is actually this picture. So we have to analyze it again. This is going to be running from 9 to 9, which means that if let me just paste it on over here first, and then we can make this thing work over there. So this is our pattern, and we have to first of all make the rows and columns over there. And again, this is going to be 9 cross 9, so this means it's going to be nested for loop over there. So let's first of all make those rows first, which is actually the outer pattern over there. In fact, let me just use a little dark color so it's actually a little more visible. So this is our first row, this is our second row, this is our third row, and this is our fourth row over there, and this is our fifth row, which is actually the center of this thing, and this is our sixth row, this is our seventh row, this is our eighth row, and this is our ninth row over here. So here, and certainly this is going to be I, so this is going to be 1, this is going to be 2, this is going to be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Remember, this is the outer loop over there. And as far as the columns are concerned, or you can call it the inner for loop over there, so this will be something, the first column over there, this is going to be the second column over there, this is going to be the third column over there, and then this is going to be the fourth column over there, the fifth column over there, so the sixth column over there, just to keep it easy, and then the seventh column over there, the eighth over there, the ninth over there, and the 10th over there. Now this is actually the different thing over there as compared to the previous one. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Now here this is actually the problem over there, that this is not going to be just 9 cross 9, this is actually 9 cross 10. So just to make my life easy, instead of starting from 1 and going up till 10, I'm going to make this a little difficult or different from the previous one, and instead of starting from 1, I'm going to start from 0. So the inner loop, instead of starting from 1, will be starting from 0, because that actually makes it easy over here. So this is my whole pattern, and let me just copy this pattern and take this one on the next page, because I'm going to analyze this one on the next one, and I'm going to find out the conditions for that purpose. For this purpose, this is my over here. Now If you see very closely over there, let's analyze the first row over there. And on the first row, let me use a different color over there. If I is equal to 1, then this is going to be printed. So what are the values of j on which it's going to be printed? J is going to be equal to printed on 0 and 9. When I is equal to 2, this is going to be printed on, now this we have to be very careful over here. This is going to be printed on 0 and 1, and then it will be printed on 8 and 9. When I will be equal to 3, j is going to be printed on 0, 1 and 2, and it will be printed on then I guess 7, 8, 9, sorry, 7, 8, 9. And when I is going to be equal to 4, when j is going to be equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, and here this will be 6, 7, 8, 9. So you can see the number of hysterics or the number of j values on which it's going to be stored. Now, when you reach up till, now let me just use a different color. When you reach up till I equal to 5, now j values have everything from 0 up till 9, all the values, because it's a whole line. You can see over there is no space over there. Now when you repeat it for the next one, which is actually, let me just use a different color, maybe an orange one. So if I move on to I equal to 6, now j is going to repeat the same pattern. Now if you see, j is going to be having a repeat same pattern, which means exactly this thing is going to be copied. So practically this thing is going to be here. So this is going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, and then 6, 7, 8, and 9. And then I is going to be 7, then j is going to be 0, 1, and 2, then 7, then 8, and 9. Then when I is going to be equal to 8, j is going to be equal to 0, 1, 8, and 9. And then when I is equal to 9, then j is going to be equal to 0 and 9. Now, if you see very closely over there, this thing is exactly the same like this thing, and this thing is totally different. So practically over here, this particular line, let me just draw this thing, this particular one, I'm just drawing this one, is going to be totally different. This line is going to be totally different, which means that whenever your I value is going to be 5, and what is 5 now? Well, 5 and 9, they don't have any correspondence, but if okay, this and 9, your n is equal to 9 over there. So what is equal to 5? This middle line is going to be n plus 1 divided by 2. So this middle line, let me just draw it. This middle line, the condition for this middle line will be equal to that when your j, now this is something very important, that when your j, for all values of j, it's going to print. So whenever the condition of I is equal to n plus 1 divided by 2, you have to print everything. You don't have to print any space. All printing has to be done. This is your condition for the middle line. This is one way. Now, this is the one if else statement that will be inside the inner loop over there, and there will be no printing of any spaces over there. And this is only going to run for one row. So for one row, you have to do like this. Now, for the remaining rows, if you see very closely on this thing is exactly the same as this thing, but vertically swapped, or you can call it the mirror image. This thing is a mirror image of this thing. Similarly, this thing is a mirror image of this thing, mirror image like this one. So this means that practically this image and this image, they both are going to be formed by just simple if-else condition. Now let's see if there is some if-else condition arising over here, which can be actually taken off very easily over there. Now if you see over there, this is 0, 9. Does 0 plus 9, okay, that's 9. We know it's equal to 9. But here 0 and 1 and 8 and 9, this does not give a number over there, because 0 and 1 and then 8 and 9 does not give any number over there, or does not give any condition related to n over there, which is actually 9 in this case. Similarly, there is no condition as such over there which is going to give it on over there. But there is one thing over there, if you see very closely over there, for this thing, that is 0, then there is 0, 1, then there is 0, 1, 2, then there is 0, 1, 2, 3. Now if you see closely these things. This is 0, this is 0, 1, this is 0, 1, 2, this is 0, 1, 2, 3. These 4 lines are for this triangle, and they are always going to be when I is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. So when I is equal to 1, if j value is less than 1 for 0, print asterisk. If j value is less than 2 for 0 and 1, print asterisk. If j value is less than this I for 0, 1, 2, print asterisk. If j value is less than I equal to 4, so this one. So this particular triangle, you are going to actually print an asterisk when you are going to have the value of j less than I, and I over here is 1, 2, 3, 4. So I value is 1, just print it over there. 2, 2 values, 3, this value. At present, I'm not talking about these ones. These are a little different over there. And for this one, it will be different. So the first condition which is arising over here for this thing. Now, before I move on to this condition making over there, now since our whole is now bifurcated into 3 different parts, this part over here, let me just make another triangle over there, this thing. So this portion, I'm just trying to make this portion here now. This portion over here is 1. This portion is going to be another one. This one. Now, for this thing, you will have, let me just change the color of this thing so it's a little different for everyone. This is color. Let me just change it to maybe like something green. Not green, actually. Green is already used. So let me just use a simple blue color. Okay. So over here. Now what I have used is 3 colors. Why? Because for this violet color or purple color, I'm going to use a different, because here the value of I is 1, 2, 3, 4. For I equal to 5, which is actually equal to this condition, I'm going to just print asterisks. When I is going to be from 6, 7, 8, 9. And what is this condition over there? Remember one thing, when I is less than, now for this thing, let me just take a color over there. Let me just use this color over there. So for this thing over here, let me use this one over there. Actually, this is much easier. Some bright colors are more easier. So for this thing, the condition is, remember, I'm just using this. This is the first condition, that I'm going in this line, then use this thing. So for first 4 lines over there, or the line above where all these directs are being printed over there, you have the condition that when I, the outer loop, is greater than, now this is something greater than or less than. What is the value? N plus 1 divided by 5. 9 plus 1, 10 divided by 2, 5. So when I is less than n plus 1 divided by 2, this condition is true, then you are inside this purple triangle or the violet triangle. For this last one, let me just change this color now. And for this last one, let me just change it. The condition for this lower portion is this, that when I is greater than n plus 1 divided by 2, then you have this condition. You have these 3 conditions over here, this condition, and this condition, that what type of figure you are going to print. This is something very important. So you have 3 conditions, 1, 2, and 3. Now these are the row conditions. Remember, these are the row conditions, not the column ones. So if your I value is here, you're not taking j into accordance at present. These are just for, because your picture is not symmetric. So that's why I have bifurcated your picture into first portion, second portion, and third portion over there. So first portion is going to be printed by this condition. Second portion is going to be printed by this condition. Third condition is over here. Now inside this condition, there will be more if-else statement depending upon whatever value you are choosing from here and here. Now, first of all, let's use this thing over here, and I'm going to now just let me just copy this all over here on maybe on the next page, and then that will be much easy. So I'm just going to copy this thing and go on the next page. Let me just reduce down the size a little bit here. So if I do this thing, a little bit reduction in size, so this is something like this. Now, I hope this is clear to you. Just zoom it over there. Now, first of all, let's see what is the first thing, the first triangle condition, which is exactly this color over there. So now when you're talking about this thing, I want this condition, first of all, this thing. So if I am inside this condition, so let me just write down the first of all, that if I am inside this thing, if I value is less than n plus 1 divided by 2 over there, then inside this if else condition, what values I have to print? I have to print these sterics, and for that I have two things. I have one, this triangle, and then the mirror image of this triangle. Now there is no way that a sum of this and this equal to n, or this equal to n, or n plus 2 or something like that. So it's a little different. So here I have to make this triangle separate, this triangle separate. Now for this triangle, I told you, this first one triangle over there, if you see very closely over there, that for this one there is 0. For this one, for I equal to 2, you have 0 and 1. For I equal to 3, you have 0, 1, 2. For I equal to 4, you have 0, 1, 2, 3. That's make this triangle in front of you. So wherever the value of I is equal to 1, print steric wherever j value is less than I. So this means that inside this first condition, if over here, let me just use the same color, if your j is less than I over here, if j is less than I, print, I'm not going to write the full over there, that is going to be steric. So that is going to be print steric, you can put it in printf or whatever stuff. Now what it will do, it will print your triangle, this thing over here easily, and wherever there will be spaces, all everything will be spaces. But at the very same time, I need this triangle to be printed also. Now let's evaluate how this triangle can be printed in the same over there, and that is over here. If you can see over there, this is 9, this is 8 and 9, this is 7, 8 and 9, this is 6, 7, 8 and 9. Now just see this thing over here, wherever j value, now this is j value of 9, then there is 8 and 9, there is 7, 8 and 9, then there is 6, 7, 8 and 9. Now this j value is going to be sum of some n and I over there. Previously what we have done, this was j less than I over there. Now for this thing, this is going to be 9, then this is going to be 8 and 9, this is going to be 7, 8 and 9, then it's going to be 6, 7, 8 and 9. Now let's see what is n and what is I. Now what is n? N is, we already know, 9. What is I for this triangle? This is 1. So what is 9 minus 1? 8. 9 minus 1, 8. Because n and I. So for this particular line, n minus 1, 8. N minus this, over here, let me just write it down over there for you people. So if I'm now evaluating, let me just space some over here, n minus I. So for the first row, what is I? 1. N is fixed. N is fixed, the number of rows already taken from the user. So this will be 8, this will be 7, this will be 6, this will be 5. So this variable is changing as I'm increasing the value of I. Now see this very carefully. What is this 8 and 9? So if your j value is greater than this value, print it. If j value is greater than this value, print it. And this is completely true, because when j is equal to 7, print it. If j value is greater than this value, print it. If j value is greater than 6, 7, 8, 9. If j value is greater than this value, print it. So what this means, that I am getting the second condition, that if your j value is greater than n minus I, then also print f steric. I'm again repeating. See this very carefully. Over here, this was I over here. I was 1, 2, 3, 4. So here n minus 1, I over there, n is fixed, that is 9 in our case. So 9 minus I, so I is here 1, 8, I here is then 2, then 7, then I is here is 3, then 6, I is equal to 4, n minus 4, 5. So now what is this 8? 8, you have j value equal to 9, so you can print it. Then you have 8 and 9 because this is 7. So this means whenever the value of j becomes greater than this value, which is again also changing with each row, then print an static, print an static, print an static. Remaining wise here, it will be same. Why? Because here when supposedly this is going to be printing, sorry on this one, when j is at 6, is 6 greater than 8? No. Is 7 greater than 8? No. Is 8 greater than? No. Yes, 9 is greater than? Yes. And you are printing it. So this condition over here is this thing. So if this is like this, printed. If this is like this, printing. Now, so what is happening? You are getting this printing over here. Let me just use this one. This is printing this triangle. This is printing this triangle. I hope you are getting. And this condition, you don't need to do anything inside if else statement. No multiple if else statements required. You just need to then print static, 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 static for all values of j. So it will be printing every value of j over there. Now, going on to the third thing, which is actually this thing, which is the last one. Now here the triangle is different. The triangle is opposite. Here the triangle is opposite. So this means there will be just a mismatch over here, because if this is the triangle, this is the triangle, this is now the vertical mirror image. This one was the horizontal mirror image. You are placing the mirror over there, so this means this is a triangle. You just flip it and this is like this. And if you're talking about this triangle, this is the vertical image over there, because you're putting a horizontal line. So this is the horizontal image of this one. So for this condition, let's say, so you will just, let me just close this one over there. So your this will be condition finished. For the green color one, let me just finish that for green color one as well. For this thing, sorry, I have to use the green color. So for green color, your condition would be that if I is equal to n plus 1 divided by 2, and inside it just printf static, and that's all. So all the line will be printed for all values of j. Whenever j is going to be printed, or from 0 to 9, it will be printed, because there is no spacing inside this thing. So you don't need to put any condition. But when you come on to this blue color one, this one has to have this triangle over there, this triangle over there, which I'm talking about, this triangle, which is exactly the image of the horizontal mirror image of this thing. This triangle was the vertical mirror image, because you are placing this mirror vertical. So when you do it, this is the vertical image. Now, for the blue color one, let's go on to the blue color part. For this condition, I'm just crisscrossing it over there. So please pardon me for this thing. So for this thing, my condition would be, now the condition is that if, and again condition, if I is greater than n plus 1 divided by 2. So my parenthesis is open. Now, where I have to print an static, where I have to print over there. Now, I'm not written the else statement over there for this thing. You can put in the else statement yourself over there for this thing. Let me just resize it, and I can just recreate this over there. And here I can just put in else printf space. Of course, if there is not a static, of course you have to print a space over there. Now, coming on to this blue one, which is actually our study now, you have this triangle over there. And if you see this triangle has, again, same thing. You have I equal to 6, and you have 6, 7, 8, 9. You have I equal to 7, you have 7, 8, 9. You have I equal to 8, you have 8, 9. So this triangle is something very easy. You can easily get it. So this portion is very easy, and you can easily understand over there. If your I value is 6, 6, 7, 8, 9. 7, 7, 8, 9. 8, 8, 9. So this means whenever your value of j, so this means the condition is that if your value of j over here is going to be less than, or sorry, not less than, actually greater than, it's going to be greater than for this thing. Let me just change it. So your j value is greater than, j value is over here. J value is 6, 7, 8, 9, and this is it. So when this is going to be greater than or equal to I, then print f static. And this is going to print what? This is going to print this triangle. Why? Because what is the value of j here? The j value is 6, 7, 8, 9. And what is the value of I? So of course, if j value is 6, yes, it will be printed. If j's value is 7, yes, it will be printed. 8 greater than 6, 9 greater than 6. So all these 4 will be printed. Similarly, when j value is again here 7, 8, 9, this is greater than I. So these 3 will be printed. Now this is still empty. This is still empty. So for that thing, so this means for this triangle, we have to still get the condition. Now, if you see over here, this is exactly the same replica. If you are getting the condition, what are you getting over there? Then the next condition would be if your j is going to be less than n minus I over here, then again print f is static over there. And here again else print f space, and that will be all. And you can here complete your. Now, just to tell you why, if you can only need to make this condition, automatically you can get it. Now, how this thing? Listen this very, very carefully. You know, j is less than I, print an static. This was for this triangle, which was j less than I, this triangle. Now, since this is, if you take it image over there, this is exactly this triangle over there. Okay, because you are increasing the value of I over there and you are increasing this value. So what is the opposite of j less than I? J greater than or equal to, and that is exactly here over there in this part. If you see this portion and if you see this portion, they both are exactly opposite. One number j less than I, if you reverse it, this will be j greater than or equal to I, and you are getting it. Then here, if you see, what is the condition? J greater than n minus I. Reverse it, j less than equal to, and you are getting less than equal to n minus I. So this thing is exactly opposite of this thing exactly opposite of this thing. So what I'm trying to tell you over there, that this triangle is the exact this thing, you reverse the subtract. So if you have a symbol of less than, you reverse it, that becomes greater than equal to. If you have a symbol of less than or greater than, you reverse it, that becomes equal to, less than, or equal to. Okay. So this, you have to just follow this thing whenever you are having some symmetrical images in front of you. So now you have the condition right in front of you. You just need to add all these 3 ones over there. This means this triangle, this one, and this one, and you are good to go. And you can do this one. And if you add all this, the code is very simple. Let me just show you the code over here. I have the code with me. The code is this thing, and let me just increase the size over there so that you can actually see. And this is exactly the same thing. Now, let me just bring this image in front of you so you can have the idea what I'm actually talking on over here. And this is the image. So this is this thing, and let me just paste this one and like this, and let me just take off these extra lines over here, and this n minus I also over here. Now if you see very closely over there, exactly same thing. You have for loop, nested for loop. Now this is the condition, I equal less than n plus 1 divided by 2. So what is this condition? This is that exactly same. So this condition over here, let me just draw this thing. Sorry about my lines being, and this is exactly the same code. Same thing, which I have done in this color. This was printing static, this was printing static, or else it was printing a space, and this is exactly. So you have just put a or symbol because you have 2 conditions, either one is true, you have to print in static, so that's why you have put an or. Then the next thing is the green color, and you can easily now see over there in this green color, you have it over there. This is this green color over there, and this green color is being used over there like this thing. You don't need to print anything because everything is in a static over there. The last thing is this blue color, which is exactly the opposite. This is less than, this is greater than, this is equal to. So you have the final one, which is this thing like this over there. Sorry about this. The this bracket has to be inside it. So this is the this. So you have everything again you are using this or symbol over there, and you can easily see over there that this is j less than I, this is j greater than or equal to, this is j greater than n minus I, which was here, that was j, the value of symbol was greater than this thing, so you are printing it over there. So this is j less than n minus I. So this condition is exactly the opposite of this, having the same or condition. You are printing a static, otherwise you are printing a space over there. And of course with the static you are printing a space, so that the next static is a little different from there. And then afterwards, when this inner loop is completed once, which means j is equal to 1 2 3 4, and then you have the printf statement, and that printf is actually going to take it. So after every, this is going to be slash n backslash n backslash n backslash n backslash n backslash n. So this is a strictly very simple code. But again, remember one thing, you have to develop your symmetry of your code, how that code is going to be over there. This is a very, very good thing to understand it over there, that you have the butterfly image, which is this image over there. That is the butterfly pattern being created by a nested for loop over there. Okay, kindly try to practice this thing, try to make it yourself. Maybe some other images, maybe a diamond. A diamond is something where you are going to have something like this picture over here, like this, with the statics over there. You can develop the logic very easily over here. It's a completely opposite of it, just simple plus minus of n or I. Again, it will be again an odd number, so you can easily get that diamond shape or rhombus, you can call it over there very easily. Maybe a next part I will try to use with the Armstrong number using the math library. So that's all for now.